everybody under the sun last year, but they couldn't be. They lost 3 games to Williamsville East by 1 goal. And if they would have beat East in that last game, they would have been in the state final. So a great program in that Amherst area.
And you mentioned Williamsville East and the small schools, but I'm not sure how small they really are.
They got about 800 kids, 9 through 12. I think that's what 8 plus, something like that. But a great program, as we know. This is the third meeting between these two clubs. Started back, I believe, in 2001, a 2-2 tie, and then last year, South shellacked the Raiders 5-0 down in Amherst.
And we're yet to know the outcome of today's game, but like you said, from the frying pan into the fire for the Massena Red Raiders. And you know, we've talked about this. I talked about it with Coach Ed Latham in the pregame. It makes you better to play better teams.
Sure does. And Rachel, it is. They've got a female, and she's outstanding in between the pipes. Rachel Stemmerman in goal.
Rachel probably following in the footsteps of Aaron Witten and Manon Rayom as here comes Massena off the opening faceoff. Tubolino dumps it deep in Williamsville South territory. Back to pick it up is Comwell. He'll flip it ahead, and out to center ice it comes. Danny Miller throws a check. Coming back is Slade to try to pick up the puck in the corner. Bouncing in behind the net. Tubolino back checking, picks it up, tries to slide it ahead. It's poked away. Comes to Jake Whitcup. Whitcup loses it in behind to Stanley. Puck tied up underneath Stanley, and the Raiders will pick it up. Tubolino, and he'll skate it out. Headman pass on the wing. Kyle Cameron, as the Raiders make a change, Cameron dumps it off the boards deep. Picking it up in behind Robert Comwell. Comwell carries it ahead out to center ice by 1. Here's Comwell from the blue line. And we say makes a save and drops it in the net. And that is a weak goal. There's no question about it. That's going to hurt because the Raiders give up one in the first minute tonight like they did last night. But this is a shot from center ice.
Yeah, that was a 75-footer, and I was just going to comment, one thing, the Raiders want to start a little stronger, don't give up that early goal, and then that 75-footer, and we say just kind of nonchalant it, didn't get the glove behind, the body behind the glove, and ticked off the left glove and trickled behind him into the net.
So I think Comwell gets the goal. Yep, Comwell gets the goal unassisted as he carried it from his own end, and he was just looking to dump it in the Massena zone. The shot was right on, and it went in the net. Here's Hadler with it in the corner now for Massena. Hadler has it stolen away, and back out comes Williamsville South. Dustin Jones. Jones, headman, the Moyer. Nice drop pass at the blue line, but the Raiders are back to break that up. Bouncing puck controlled by Massena. Grupo keeps it in, though, and dumps it up into the wall, and we'll have a face-off. So an early goal by South, and the Raiders trail 1-0 on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard.
One of my favorite nicknames of high school sports, the Williamsville Club. I mean, you've got the Raiders and the Devils and the Shamrocks, and you've got all. But I don't know how many teams you have in the United States that have Billy Goats as their nickname, and that's what the nickname for the South Club.
They do not, though, have the goat on the front anymore. They have new uniforms.
Right. They used to have the goat on the front.
Off the face-off. Raiders control it out by the blue line. Taking it across and offsides will be called as Jared Bradish came in, but he had one of his wingers on the offside, or it may have been Miller, the defenseman, who had gone up on the line, but the faceoff will move outside the zone. Just underway here. It's 1-0 already on a shot from center ice as the Raiders send out Trent Thomas to take the faceoff against Caputo. Off the draw, here comes Williamsville. Nab dumps it deep in the Massena zone. Miller back to pick it up. He'll flip to the open wing. Trent Thomas there. Ahead it goes on the wing and out to center ice. Off the stick of Jared Bradish. Comwell flipping ahead. Trying to hit his winger, Abels. Abels' pass knocked down, but following up is Caputi. Caputi takes it by Miller. Here's Caputi in behind, trying to center it. Here's a short side shot, save made. Miller picks up the rebound. Nab took the shot. He didn't have much to shoot at, though, as we say LaFrance had the post covered. Raiders dump it deep, picked up by Murray, the big defenseman for Williamsville. Williamsville moving it out to center ice. Long headman pass. Into the zone it goes. That's Gene Nab. Nab in the corner. He gets tied up by Patrick Horan. And coming in to help out is the forward back. And a good play by A.J. Tubolino. They move it. Slade trying to clear the zone. Does not. Throws a check. Kicks it free. Nice job by Eddie Slade. Back checking. Here comes Massena's Cameron. Can't quite catch up with it. Picked up by Start that again. Tarana, the defenseman, and he takes it across ahead to Stanley. Stanley gets tied up along the boards. It comes free. The puck squirts in behind the net as Evan Labarge got railed, but here comes Slade. Bounce pass out to center ice, and it'll trickle all the way back in the Williamsville South zone as Vincent Tarana comes back to pick it up for the Billies. Tarana has it poke checked away, then flips it ahead of the blue line, out to center ice, bodies flying, comes to the Massena line, and a good play by Whitcup. Now Whitcup will get it in his own end. Whitcup circles, takes it to the left side, looks up, flips it on the wing, doesn't clear the zone. Here's a shot, and LaFrance makes the save and holds on for the faceoff. 11:43 remaining in period number 1, 1-0 Williamsville South on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard.
Mentioned Gene Nab playing on the wing with Vince Caputi at center and Phil Abels on the other side. Nab 2 goals last night in that victory over Canton.
Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle, Massena zone. Raiders Miller picks it up, takes it behind the net, trying to flip it around on the wing. Miller poke checks it as he follows up. Comwell back into the Massena zone it goes. Excuse me, that's Cornwell. All right. Anyway, the puck in behind the net in the Massena zone again. Around the boards. Back to the point. Cornwell shot right on, and we say LaFrance makes the save.
Jerry, I've got him as Comwell. Maybe it is Cornwell, but...
yeah, on the back of his jersey it says Cornwell.
Okay.
See?
Oh, it does.
So the program was wrong.
The program is wrong. Certainly not the jersey. We'll change that.
So it's Cornwell, not Comwell. Off the face-off, puck in the Massena zone, clear to the blue line, trickles down the ice. Will it go far enough for icing? I believe it will. And icing called against Massena, and that'll move the face-off back in their own end. We're down to 11-12 left in the first period. The Raiders trail on a goal, a shot from center ice that kind of just handcuffed, we say, LaFrance.
I think they picked up Massena from where they left off in that third period, playing the body a little bit more here in this first period.
They seem to be. They seem to be. Off the face-off, bouncing puck controlled by the Raiders. Can't clear the zone, but they will finally follow up, take it back in again, and moving it ahead to center ice. Back. No, it didn't come out of the zone. Here comes an opportunity in front. The shot. Oh, nice save by LaFrance. As headed for the corner with that shot was Michael Bloom, and LaFrance gloved it out of the air.
Michael Bloom, who stripped the Raider forward just outside of his blue line, walked around the defenseman and got up a nice shot. And we say super save with that left hand, because that was headed just under the crossbar.
Caputi out there to take the face-off for Williamsville South. Off the draw, Raiders win the face-off. It comes in behind. It's picked up by Jake Whitcup. Whitcup gets tied up behind the net, and the puck controlled in front. We say clears it, and then it's going to be a goal as Gene Nab got the backhand. We say tried to clear the puck with a stick right on Nab's stick, and he backhanded it into the empty net, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, if you want to clear a rebound, you don't want to clear it out in front. And he actually was to the side, but he had opportunity to knock it towards the back of the net, but he cleared it to his right, and Gene Nab floating through there picked it up, and we say was down and out of play, and Nab beat him easily with a backhander.
Puck dumped inside. Zeppy Ogene trying to clear the back to the point. Here's a shot. The save made. I think Rachel Stemmerman's first save of the game. Puck in behind. Gene Nab with it, flipping it ahead out to center ice. Back after it there is Jared Lanning. Lanning flips it ahead. Dumped right back in Massena territory. Bounces in behind the net. After it is Abels. Abels being tied up by Jacob Whitcup. Coming in to help out is Darling, and Whitcup comes up with a puck, skates away, flips it ahead, and here comes Massena. Zeppy Ogene, headman to Miller, and Miller's going to dump it and wants off as the puck bounces inside Williamsville territory. Back after it, here's the puck stolen by Tubolino. Tubolino shot, and a save made by Stemmerman. Tubolino breaking in, and he had the puck and had a good opportunity. And it's back out to center ice. Picked up there by Pat Horan. Horan will dump it right back inside Williamsville South territory. Back after it there is the defenseman DeTalo. DeTalo knocked off the puck. It bounces free in the corner. Picked up again by DeTalo, and he'll dump it down the ice. And will that go? They wave the icing off? Yeah, they do. And it's picked up by Horan. Horan flips ahead to Tubolino. He can't catch up with it. Throws a check, however. Puck cleared along the board. Slade doesn't get it out. Here's a shot high over the net. It'll whip all the way around the other side and go all the way back inside Williamsville South territory. Cornwell is there. South leads 2-0 here. About 9 minutes remaining in the first period over the Massena Red Raiders. Picked up by Evan LaBarge. LaBarge waits for his wing, then flips it ahead. Hadler gets knocked down. Bouncing puck sits in the circle. Hadler gets a piece of it. Shot in behind the net. Picking it up there is Rogers. He flips it in the corner. Big defenseman Murray is there to move it along the boards. LaBarge can't keep it in. Comes out to center ice Miller, and he'll flip it up into the stands, and we'll have a face-off. 2-0 on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard. 8:45 left in period number 1.
That second goal by the Billies at the 4:13 mark. Gene Knabb, along with Phil Abels and Vincent Caputi, picking up an assist, makes it 2-0.
Face-off will be in the Massena half of center ice. It'll be Jones taking it against Rogers for Massena. Rogers out there. Off the draw. Bouncing puck controlled by Massena and dumped in the zone by Jake Whitcup. Goes to the side of the net. Stemmerman leaves it in behind. Around the boards it goes toward the blue line, but kept in the point. Now it bounces back toward the point, and Petrie tries to keep it in. He can't. Miller comes back for it. Flips it ahead. Here's Hadler dumping it in behind the net. He'll look to chase it down. He and Murray go together. The puck squirts free to Jones. He'll rip it around on the other side. Now Bloom after it. Bloom gets checked by Miller. Miller in there forechecking. We got a penalty on Massena, and they touch the puck, and there is the whistle. An interference call.
Going to go against David Rogers, but I'm going to call him for interference, but I like to see him mix it up. He's a good, solid youngster, Mr. Rogers. He's about 5'11", 170, and he's solid, and he took the South player into the boards and gave him a good shot. I don't know about the interference, but the official made the call. Raiders are going to go, killing a penalty.
Off the face-off, Trent Thomas out there, along with Adam Smith. Patrick Horan, Evan LaBarge. Here's the puck, goes by LaBarge, but it's controlled by Massena. And it's Adam Smith dumping it all the way back down the ice. Back after it is Patrick Murray. Murray in his own end for the Billies. He'll flip it ahead, goes all the way in the Massena zone, and it's picked up by Horan high off the glass inside Williamsville South territory. Oh, hard check thrown there by Adam Smith. Puck dumped inside Massena territory. In behind the net is Pat Horan. Horan gets knocked around. The puck slides into the corner. Murray pinches in for Williamsville. They'll move it around the horn, in deep, in behind the Massena net. This is where the Raiders have problems, when the opposition gets the puck in deep. Now back to the point. They move it to the 45. Here's the shot. LaFrance makes the save. The Raiders clear it to the blue line. It's going to just trickle out to center ice. Now there's a hard check thrown. Knabb, though, will pick up the puck. He's already got a goal. He'll drop it to Grupo. Grupo with the Knabb in front. The shot, we say, makes the save. The second one hits the side of the net, and the Raiders will dump it down the ice.
Nice give and go by the Billies as Knabb dropped it off to Bloom, and then it went in behind the defense and got a return pass.
Puck controlled inside their own zone, Cornwell, by the Billies. He'll flip it ahead, get it back again. About 7 seconds left in the man advantage. Dumped to the Massena line. There's a battle there. Bodies flying around as Miller throws a check. Lost a stick. Here comes Williamsville. Here's the shot. LaFrance will cover up and hold on for the faceoff.
You mentioned Adam Smith, thundering check. He did. He put a lick on number 10, Michael Bloom, out there. And Bloom went to the bench in some amount of discomfort. We'll see if he comes back out the next shift. Yeah, he looks okay over there, but a good, solid check by Adam Smith right just outside the blue line.
Raiders do kill off the penalty, and we're down to 6:35 left in the first period. 2-0, Williamsville North. Rogers out to take the face-off. Won by Williamsville, but the Raiders clear it along the boards. Here's Grupo with it. He'll flip it in the corner. Stanley, he's taken out of the play. The puck bounces free, but still controlled by North as they move it around. In behind it goes. Poke checked away. After it there is the Raiders trying to move it out of the zone. That was Whitcup. It bounces to Miller, and Danny Miller picks it up from Massena, but his clearing pass didn't get much on it, but stays with it. Moves it ahead to the blue line, not out of the zone. Here's a shot knocked down in the high slot, bouncing around. Rogers got a piece of it. Now Hadler goes after, throws a check. Along the boards, Rogers. Now Whitcup gets a piece. Cornwell keeps it in, and the shot is deflected, and Whitcup picks up the loose puck. He'll flip it on the wing, and the Raiders look to move it out to center ice and do. Dump right back in the zone. Right back down the ice it goes. High in the air. That'll be icing against Massena. And the Raiders want to change, and the faceoff will move back in their zone. 5:41 left, first period, 2-0 in favor of Williamsville South. on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard.
Jeremy Hadler, two tremendous checks out there. First, he flattened James Stanley, and then he came back to the blue line and put a lick on number 5 out there, Robert Cornwell. Flattened them both.
This is the most physical I think we've seen Massena this year. Off the face-off, here's the shot knocked down in the circle. Raiders will break back the other way. Here's Petrie Jared Bradish. He'll flip it ahead, and it just crosses the red line for icing. And we're going to have a penalty.
Oh, Jared Bradish is going to get a penalty for what? I might call him for roughing, but there was a race for the puck at the end, and I guess he felt that the whistle
hit after the whistle.
After the whistle, yeah. But that's another player I'd like to see get more physical. Bradish, he's good size. He's 5'11", 195, and he's solid. And he's got to use that body to the weight to his advantage out there, and he's been playing a little more aggressive since that St. Lawrence game the other night. Had several good opportunities, had a goal. Yeah, it's after the whistle. They were racing. He and the South player were racing for the puck, and the puck crossed the line just a second before he put a lick on the Billies player. So Massena back killing another penalty.
Tubolino out to take the face-off against Caputi. Off the draw. Puck sits in the circle into the corner. Nab with it. He'll go to Caputi at the 45 back to the point. D to D. Here's Murray. His pass intercepted. Tubolino, and he just gets it out to center ice. Should be a controlling with a high stick. Was that above the shoulder? It looked like it.
Looked like it from here, but again,
they don't whistle it. And back comes Murray into the Massena zone. Stick handles by one. Feeds. Here's the shot. We say makes the save. The rebound in behind the net. And it's picked up by Miller. He waits and then dumps it down the ice.
Patrick Murray busting in, and a good save by Weesay. That was headed for the lower corner.
And then the rebound almost went in. It hit the side of the net. Puck back inside South territory. Raiders just trying to waste time. Trent Thomas can't come up with it. He flips, tries to stop Grupo, but it's dumped down the ice. And Abels checking Miller. They battle. Abels still has the puck. Takes it out by the blue line. Here's Abels. He'll flip it, but it's intercepted. Nice job by Trent Thomas, and he'll dump it right back inside Williamsville South territory. Puck kept in the zone by Massena's Adam Smith. He takes a check, but doesn't lose his feet. Here comes Cornwell. Cornwell back the other way for the Billies. His shot from center ice up over the net as Weesay deflected it up into the wall. Weesay LaFrance in the nets for Massena. Down at the other end, Rachel Stemmerman. Stemmerman has not been tested so far this afternoon.
Very athletic young lady. Is being courted by several Division I hockey schools. Outstanding goaltender. She and the other goaltender split the duties last year. They fought for number 1 throughout the season, and she's just a super athlete. 3-time defending state champion in tennis, Jerry.
Wow. So she really is a great athlete. Here's Bloom out by the blue line. Bloom skates into the circle. And back to Cornwell. His shot is deflected off a leg, goes into the corner. Kept in there by the Billies. In behind, the Raiders get a man back, so they kill off 2 penalties here. Puck goes side of the net. Rogers gets a piece of it. Back to Cornwell. Can't get out of the zone. And it's gloved in behind the net as the shot taken. Weesay knocks it away. Puck in the corner. Now a hard check thrown by Rogers. A good check by Rogers, and the Raiders clear it down the ice.
Played the man, not the puck, and took him right out of the play. Perfect.
And despite the fact the Raiders are down by 2, they are playing a lot better today.
No question. Well, the first goal was a very soft goal, that 75-footer, and they've played well.
Off the play, it's out to center ice. Trickles to Petrie. Petrie leaves it for Evan Labarge. Labarge flips it back to the Billies line. They'll dump it to the Massena line. Danny Miller's there for the Raiders. Miller headman all the way out to the bench, and now here comes Massena. Across the blue line, trying to come up with it was Zepi Ogene. It's knocked away from him and dumped down the ice by South, and icing will be called. Down to 3:02 left in the first period on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard, 2-0 for Williamsville South.
Unofficially, shots on goal for the Billies, 11, the Raiders 2, but Massena's had to kill off a couple of penalties, and a lot of those shots came on that power plays.
Darling out there to take the face-off, out with Zepi Ogene and Jared Lanning. Off the draw, out to center ice it comes. Here comes Stanley with it into the Massena zone. Miller knocks it down. Puck picked up by Lanning. Can't clear the zone. And the puck bouncing into the circle. Finally, it's going to come free to Lanning. He'll start it ahead. Lanning's headman pass. Darling steps by a check. He gets double teamed. Lanning picks up the loose puck. Here's Lanning going after it, but Murray's there to knock it away. Following up is Eugene. He'll flip it into the corner on the other side. Picked up by Grupo. Stolen away by Darling. Mark Darling behind the net, setting it up. Here's Darling. Cross-ice pass to the point. Here's Evan Labarge. His shot is knocked down by Grupo. Grupo picks up the loose puck. He'll flip it, doesn't clear the zone, gets it right back again. Finally, he'll lug it out to center ice over to Murray. Here's Murray into the Massena zone. Stick handles. Murray in behind, tries the center, hits the side of the net. Puck in behind now. Bouncing around. Raiders control. Here comes Massena. Darling with it with about 2 minutes left in the period. He wants off. He'll just flip to the blue line. Right back Murray. Murray dumps to the Massena line. It's intercepted. Raiders turn it around. Here comes A.J. Tubolino. In on the off wing. Circles. Trying to go back to the point. Labarge shot on the fly. Right on. Save made. First really good save for Stemmerman. Back to the point it goes. Labarge with it again. Her shot right on. Stemmerman makes the save. So 2 good chances for the Raiders. And I'll tell you, Eddie Slade was right side of the net, right where he wants to be in case there was a rebound.
Go in there and create some traffic. I'd like to see him get a little more in front of Stemmerman instead of beside the net, so blocker view. But A.J. Tubolino doing excellent work, hustling, carrying that puck in the zone, and creating some havoc down there.
Face off right side of Stemmerman in the south zone. Tubolino. They try to win the draw, but it's intercepted. Puck still in the zone. Torreira backhands it out to center ice to Nab. Here's Nab. He'll just dump it in the Massena zone. Goes in behind the net. Evan Labarge for Massena. He gets tied up. Where's the puck? Stitz in behind the net. Labarge trying to tie up the man, and it's taken by Tubolino. Tubolino, in turn, has it stolen by Nab. Nab centering in front. Shot. We say LaFrance. And I'll tell you, Abels was all by himself in front of the net. Nobody picked him up.
That should not happen.
Yeah. Raiders with a puck. Labarge flips it. Doesn't clear the zone. Now it's knocked out to center ice. And Slade trying to come up with it. Following up is Tubolino. Tubolino can't come up with it. Here's Cornwell to the Massena line. We're into the final minute of play. 2-0 in favor of South. Puck dumped. Nab takes it in. He's got Abels in front. Centers it, but it's knocked away. Bounces in the net. And that came from behind the net and went off, we say, LaFrance in the net. And it's 3-0.
Oh, but great hand-eye coordination by Nab. He took the initial shot. LaFrance made the save. And as Nab is going behind the net, he picked the puck out of the air and batted it behind LaFrance. Just a great initial move by Nab with a burst of speed, and then to pick that puck out of the air like that.
So Nab gets his second goal of the game, and the Raiders go down 3-0. Unassisted goal. Okay. And the puck across and dumped in the Massena zone with about 2 minutes, or about 40 seconds left in the period. Puck in the corner. Rogers tries to tie it up. We have a whistle. What do we got now? A roughing call against who?
Looks like Danny Miller is coming to the box. 14-10 mark is second of the afternoon. Gene Nab unassisted as he darted in, stole the puck outside the blue line, went in that left side from a tough angle, made the shot. Good save by Weesay, gave up the rebound. The puck's in the air, 2 or 3 feet off the ice, and Nab going behind the net, all in one motion, reached back and picked it out of the air and batted it into the empty net.
Face off left side in the Massena zone. Raiders trying to kill a penalty. Puck in the circle, and it's dumped down the ice. It'll roll on Stemmerman. She stops it, leaves it for Murray. Murray in behind with about 20 seconds left in the period. Ahead to Stanley. Stanley, he'll dump in the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Back after it, Evan Labarge. Labarge can't control it. Controlled by Williamsville South Stanley. His pass intercepted. Raiders don't clear the zone, however. Here's a shot from the point. Bounces to the side of the net. In behind. Good job by Labarge. That'll take care of the period. And so the Raiders give up 3 in the first period, and we'll have 54 seconds of power play to kill when they come back. 3-0. Raiders trail on the coach's corner scoreboard. Off the face-off. Puck controlled on the defense by Cornwell. He'll dump it deep in Massena zone, a little too deep as a matter of fact, and icing will be the call, and that'll move the face-off back inside
the
their
design
territory.
Play, Jerry, right off the draw. They hooked it back to the defense, that left defenseman, and Nab on that right side. He broke immediately, and the defenseman tried to hit him with that. And he got in behind the defense, but the pass was just a little too long.
He's a nice hockey player.
He is, very nice. Good-looking hockey player.
He's got the puck right now in his own end. He'll drop it to the defenseman, and down the ice it goes. Caputi into the Massena zone, but I think we were a little offsides there. and the face-off will be outside the zone. Down to 42 seconds left. Off to spits and sputs here in the second period. Lots of whistles to start with.
Nab 2 goals this afternoon, 2 goals last night. He's having a productive weekend.
Off the face-off, puck not cleared. Nab shot, save made by Wesley LaFrance. Again, a chance to clear the zone, and when you're on the penalty killing, you don't have to, not try to get an icing. You just got to get it out of there. Just
comes with experience. Execution is the word, and sometimes you're at the right place, but you just don't execute, and you have to do that, and that's what happens with a young team.
Off the face-off, puck controlled by the Billies, but the Raiders move it. Nab's got it, however. Short side shot. And we say look behind him, but he's got it in front of him, and he covers up and holds on for the face-off. He had the post covered, and Nab had really nothing to shoot at.
I know, one of the most scariest sights, we always say for a coach, when the goaltender looks behind him, where is it?
Off the draw, puck in the corner. Evan Labarge picks it up and lifts it high in the air and down the ice. Now, that was executed correctly. Racing for it. In behind is Tubolino. Picks up the loose puck. Tubolino, side of the net, but he can't come up with it. And it's Murray the other way. Murray builds up the head of steam. Murray gets by the Massena defenseman, breaks in. He's got a man in front, but he shoots. And the puck deflected off the Massena defenseman right on. And we say LaFrance will hold on for the faceoff.
Patrick Murray, what a rush. He's a good-looking defenseman. I'd say he's about 6'5", 6 feet, maybe 185. And he busted out of his own end with all kinds of speed and was just walking away from the Raider defenseman. And we say LaFrance hugged the short side and didn't give Murray much to shoot at, but great burst of speed by Murray.
Massena's had too many people out there. They still have 6 seconds in the man disadvantage. Now they're clear. And we have a face-off. Mark Darling wins the draw, and the puck dumped down the ice by the Red Raiders. And that'll take care of the penalty, so the Raiders kill that one off. Puck in the zone, landing. Oh, he's checked, but Darling picks it up in front. Miller's shot. Nice save. Rebound. Miller gets it back again. Good save by Stemmerman. I thought that was going to go in. Here's the puck side of the net. They battle for it there. Caputo clears to the blue line, and it's dumped down the ice by Williamsville South. It will not go far enough for icing as Darling picks it up. Darling in behind the net, goes by a check. He'll start it ahead. Nice headman pass. Racing down is Zepi Ogene. He is taken out of the play. Darling tries to follow. The puck comes back toward the blue line out to center ice, where Miller picks it up. He'll dump it off the glass right back inside Billy territory. You got to be kidding me. That puck was right on the red line when he fired it. I cannot believe that they called an icing on that.
That's getting a little thin on the... Anyway, great opportunity for the Raiders as Jarrett Lanning set up Danny Miller, who jumped down from the play, and Miller going top shelf, and a great opportunity for the Raiders.
Off the face-off, puck comes to the Raiders. They try to clear the zone, but not out. Out toward the blue line, kept in at the point by defenseman Cornwell. He'll flip it in the corner to Stanley. Stanley and Rogers go together, but the puck is picked up in behind by the Billies. It's Barbera back to the blue line. Here's a shot fired wide. Petrie around on the other side tries to come up with it. It's dumped in behind. Miller is there for Massena. Here's Miller flipping it. Stanley takes it away. Now Hadler in there trying to help out. It finally comes free to Rogers. He'll skate behind the net. Here's Rogers, lifts it in the air, off the glass, down the ice, and that'll be icing, but that's a good icing.
That is a good icing. Raiders were hemmed up at the end of their shift, hemmed up in their own end, and just couldn't get anything organized. So David Rogers, they do this in D1, they do this in the pros. He iced the puck and got a whistle. That's what they wanted. Smart move.
Back out is A.J. Tubolino with his line mates, Slade and Cameron. Oh, that's going to be Rogers out there. Or Dale, no, that's Cameron, I'm sorry. And the puck goes in behind the net. Controlled by the Billies, bouncing in the corner. Evan Labarge will be there to pick up the errant pass from Massena. He'll move it along the boards, but Bloom keeps it in, dumps it in behind the net. Horan throws a check. The bouncing puck comes to Cameron, back to Horan. Horan skates it, loses it, bounces in the circle. Now coming back is Tubolino, back checking. He takes a whack at it and comes away with a puck. Tubolino loses in front, but Labarge is there. He takes a whack at it, can't clear. Now Slade trying to get it out of the zone. It's finally poke checked out to center ice by Massena. Dumped right back in. Here's a shot, and LaFrance makes the save. Puck cleared along the boards. Patrick Horan bounces it ahead to Cameron. Cameron breaks out 3-on-2. Headman pass, Eddie Slade. Slade, drop pass to, too bad, Tubolino, and he couldn't quite come up with it, and the puck bounces out to center ice. Here comes Evan Labarge again. He'll flip it on the other side. Cameron will dump it in the zone, and Massena wants a line change. Still 3-0 in favor of the Billy Goats. Cornwell with it. Trying to move it out of the zone, and it just trickles across the blue line. It bounced off a Raider, and then it's dumped down the ice, and they'll call that one for icing, too. And again, that was really close.
That Murray guy again, Patrick Murray, a good defensive play, has Cameron and A.J. Tubolino broke into the zone, and Kyle, nice little feathered pass, drop pass to A.J., but Murray stepped up and just poked the puck just off the stick of A.J.
Trent Thomas out to take the face-off for Massena. Out there with Smith and Bradish. Off the draw. Into the fray is Smith. He'll go back to Miller at the point. His shot deflected side of the net. After it there is Smith trying to go back to Lanning, Bradish rather, but it's knocked around the boards and out to center ice. Miller reached for it, couldn't come up with it. He has to trickle back. He'll flip it ahead for Smith, bounces off his stick, and it's dumped right back to the Massena zone. Raiders control. It's Danny Miller with it. His head man right on the stick of Trent Thomas, and he'll dump it deep in Billy territory. Adam Smith chasing in. He throws a check. The puck sits there. Smith comes up with it. Back to Thomas. Back to Smith in the circle, but it's intercepted there on the defense by Terrera. Terrera clears to the blue line. It's out to center ice. Here comes Gene Knabb with it. He'll flip it ahead. Miller ties it up. The bouncing puck comes free. Smith just bangs it ahead. Moves it to the blue line. Out to center ice it comes. Here comes Jared Bradish from the red line. He'll dump it in. It's stopped there by Stemmerman. She'll leave it in behind the net for her own players. Puck dumped all the way down. Knabb was waiting at the blue line, but he couldn't corral it. But he still goes in after it, takes it away. Here's Knabb, his backhander knocked away, and Raiders pick it up and bang it ahead to the blue line. Grupo can't keep it in, and it's out to center ice where Cornwell picks it up. Still 3-0 on the coach's corner scoreboard. Raiders throw a few checks as the puck bouncing around at the blue line. Darling flips it into the corner. Gene Knabb after it, picking up the loose puck, and he'll ice it as the Billy Goats were starting to run around a little bit. Knabb, a savvy hockey player, decides to ice it.
I tell you, Adam Smith, 5'11", he's listed at 150. He plays a lot bigger than 150. He's hammered everything in sight tonight and throughout these first 4 or 5 games for the Raiders. And he seems to win 9 out of 10 when no matter who he runs into. So he's been a physical force.
Remember his older brother.
Sure do.
Young Steve Smith. Steve had a little more size than Adam does, though. Off the face-off, puck controlled by Williamsville South. They'll move it, but not out of the zone. Cameron gets a piece of it, and in turn has it stolen by Cornwell. Cornwell out from behind his net, flips it ahead. Evan Labarge can't keep it in the zone. Dump right back, across the blue line. Raiders have to get on side. Cornwell picks it up. Long headman pass goes by everybody, and it's going to be icing. Looked like Massena defenseman Horan touched it, but it must have bounced by past him, and icing will be the call.
Raiders going on 65 minutes and 15 seconds where they haven't scored a goal here. Shut out last night, and we're down to 9:45, and haven't gotten one here this afternoon. They'd like to get off the snide. And
here's Tubolino out to take the face-off. Off the draw. Sits in the circle and bounces in the corner, lifted high in the air. Danny Miller gloves it down, dumps to an open wing. Terrera's there to pick it up for Williamsville. Clears his own back in again, delay offsides on Massena. And finally Terrera will take it across the blue line to the Massena line. Gathered in there by Mosi. And he'll take it in the corner, trying to drop to Reed. Reed in behind the net. And Danny Miller takes it away from him, starts it ahead. Cameron bangs it out to center ice. There's a foot race for it. Murray is there first, however. Patrick Murray flips to the Massena line, knocked back to the red line, bouncing into the Massena zone. Danny Miller after it. He'll pick it up, flip it ahead, and still not out of the zone. The official got in the way that time. And Patrick Murphy with it, knocked away from him. And the Raiders' Rogers banks it off the glass and out to center ice. Picked up by Terrera. Terrera at the blue line will dump it back into the Massena zone, and that'll be icing against the Billy Goats. 3-0 it remains. We're in the second period on the Coach's Corner scoreboard, about 8:48 left in the middle stanza.
And all three of those goals coming in the first period. One early at the 53-second mark, one late at the 14:10 mark, and one in the middle. So the Raiders have held their own since the second period.
Rogers out to take the face-off for Massena. He'll face off against White. Off the draw, puck along the glass, and out to center ice it goes. Massena flipping it ahead. Trent Thomas trying to bounce it over on the right wing to Smith. Smith Stays with it in the corner. Battling for it. Ends up on the side, but manages to poke it free. Back to Thomas. To Borden. Shot. Fired it wide. Back to the other side. Here's a chance as it's dumped into the corner by Ian Maxwell. Maxwell feeds in front. Here's a shot by Smith. Rebound, score! Trent Thomas puts Massena on the board. And Adam Smith involved, and a nice goal for the Red Raiders to make it 3-1.
Adam Smith, and in behind the net, Trent Thomas is going to get the goal. Adam Smith got it behind the net, working hard along the boards, swung in behind the net, swung out in front, took a shot, and Stemmerman made the save, but gave up the rebound. And number 22, Trent Thomas, was right there, and he swatted it by Stemmerman on the short side, and the Raiders do get on the board.
And that's a moral victory, to say the least, as Massena scores a goal here. Off the ensuing faceoff, puck in the zone. Here's an opportunity, but Evan Labarge makes a good play to move it back out to center ice. Labarge is back with it again. He'll flip it to Murray. Murray loses. Here comes Thomas back in on the off wing. Thomas feeds it in front. Rogers gets a shot off, and Stemmerman makes the save. Rogers was falling and still got a stick on it. Back to Evan Labarge. Shovels it. Oh, deflected just wide, and that was close. Puck in behind the net. Bouncing along in front. Here comes the shot, side of the net. And who took that shot? That was Lanning. And the puck bounces free. Back toward the blue line. Here's Evan Labarge, deflected in front. Lanning shot. Oh, just wide again. Puck picked up by Darling. Darling has it knocked away, gets it back again. Goes back toward the blue line, and it's out to center ice. We got a 2-on-1. Bloom breaks down the other way. Here's the wind and the shot, and it's wide. And the puck moved to Lanning. Lanning's headman pass. Thomas looking for it. He'll not find it, though, and icing will be the call on Massena. The Raiders have come alive a little bit here in the second period after that goal.
What a great shift by Darling, Lanning, and Thomas after Smith and Bradish and Thomas were out there. All kinds of forechecking. Good job. The Raiders had the Billy Goats right back on their heels. That Massena goal is .641, his fourth of the year. Trent Thomas from Adam Smith and Ian Maxwell.
Face off right side. Inside the Massena zone, Raiders control the puck and start to move it ahead. Headman pass is knocked away by Zepi Ogene back inside Massena territory. Miller in behind the net, trying to poke it by. Darling is back checking, flips it into the corner, knocked away, controlled by Williamsville. Now it's Whitcup after it. Nice play by Whitcup. He'll flip it ahead to Darling. Darling doesn't clear the zone. Nab shot knocked down in front, cleared down the ice by Massena. And it went off somebody. Icing is waved off. Raiders have gotten a goal. It's 3-1. Williamsville South here. We're in the second period. Puck cleared down the ice by South. Will it go far enough for icing? It will cross the line, and the whistle will blow, and we'll have a face-off back in Willie territory.
And you can just see the confidence coming back to Massena, playing with more confidence, and you've got Williamsville South right back on their heels this stage. They're still leading by 2, but the Raiders have ratcheted up their game.
Just heard a score. Canton beat Williamsville North 4-2.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't a final? Oh, I thought it might be because the game started at noon. But that was just a partial? Okay. Off the face-off, puck in the circle. Oh, the shot, they miss. Tubolino tried to get a shot off. Back to the point. Here comes Williamsville as they break by the Massena defense. Labarge picking up the puck. It bounces. Nice save by LaFrance. He covers up. Oh, boy, and he made a good move that time as they barely broke by, but both Horan and also the other defenseman, Evan Labarge, really worked hard to get back and cover up.
The 2-on-1, and the forward with the puck along the boards flipped it in front, and the forward going to the net got a piece of it, and Wiese had to come across and make a good save and then reach back and grab the rebound.
Tubolino wins the face-off to Miller. Miller takes it behind the net, trying to flip it, but it's intercepted. Bouncing puck in behind. Miller again with it. He'll knock it into the corner. Tubolino throws a check. Bouncing puck comes free. Raiders look to move it ahead. Whitcup to the blue line. Grupo keeps it in. Back Whitcup in the corner for Massena. He'll flip it on the other side for Danny Miller. Cameron, nice pass. Heads it out to center ice. Grupo's there, and it bounces off his stick and Tubolino up into the wall.
Nice pass, Kyle Cameron along the boards on the strong side, receiving the pass around the boards. He felt the pressure of the defenseman coming down, and in one motion, he just chipped the puck by him, and just a tad too far. If not, A.J. Tubolino was going to in on a breakaway.
Tubolino out to face off against Jones, just outside the Willie South zone. Puck along the boards. Hard check thrown there. by Jake Whitcup, but the puck bounces free inside Massena territory. Miller rips it around the boards for Eddie Slade, but Murray keeps it in. His shot is gloved. That was way off the net, but we say LaFrance is there to glove it and hold on for the faceoff.
Down to 5:38 left in this second period. Raiders on the board. Finally, that goal coming from Trent Thomas, his fourth of the year, with Adam Smith and Ian Maxwell picking up the assist.
Face-off left side inside Massena territory. 3-1 Williamsville South. Raiders win the draw. Miller will flip it ahead. Back to pick it up is Adam Smith. He'll go back to Danny Miller. Miller back around the boards to Smith, to the blue line, out to center ice. Cornwell, Smith knocks him, trying to knock him off the puck. They tied up along in front of the bench, and it's finally poke check back to the Williamsville South blue line. Back into the Massena zone it goes. Jones breaking in. Here's Jones' shot. LaFrance makes the save. Rebound bounces in the slot. Miller flips it ahead, and it bounces to the blue line. Cornwell trying to keep it out of the zone, keep it in the zone rather, but it's cleared, and ahead it goes. Here comes Trent Thomas to Rogers. Rogers breaks by. Oh, almost got by the defenseman, but it's knocked away. And back the other way comes Bloom into the Massena zone. Breaking in, backhander, fires it wide. Goes around the boards. Murray at the point. Murray takes it by the check. Back toward the blue line, but the Raiders clear it out to center ice. Moyer has it knocked away. Here comes Massena back the other way. Trying to bust by is Jared Lanning, but it's taken away and dumped back inside Massena territory. 4.5 left in the period. Raiders trail by 2. 3-1 the score. Here's an opportunity for Massena. Busting in the zone. Zepi Ogene. He can't quite get the shot off as he's knocked down. And the puck comes bouncing toward the blue line and out to center ice. To the Massena line. It's just deflected into the corner. Now, it looked like Nab got a piece of that on the way by, but apparently not, as icing will be the call.
Zepi Ogene, a great effort as he was sent in or partially in on a long pass, but he had the defenseman to beat and put on a good move and spun around, and as he was spinning and losing his balance, he tried to get a shot off, got a piece of it, but a good effort by Ogene.
Darling out there to take the face-off, won by Williamsville. And what we got, a penalty and an interference call, a first penalty against Williamsville South. And that's going to be Tirana getting the call for interference.
Vincent Tirana picking up the gate, the minute and a half. And as you mentioned, the first penalty for the Billies, and the Raiders going on the power play. And definitely the tide has turned somewhat. They're really playing with much more confidence and taking the game at this stage right now right to Williamsville South.
And this could be a fortuitous time for a power play.
Certainly
Off the
could.
face-off. The puck is sitting in the circle, and finally it's out to center ice. And here comes Nab, and he's going to bust right by the defense. Shoots. Nice save. Rebound. LaFrance covers up and holds on.
That should be a penalty right there, and he is going to call him. Good call by referee Donnie Wood. Has Nab sent in on a breakaway. What a great save by Weesay. We talk about making him at the right time, and there was the time to make it. The whistle goes, Nab comes out of the corner and elbows the Raider player who was on his knees, and the referee right there saw it and made the call.
So that'll give Massena a 2-man advantage for the next 1 minute 18.
Well, what a big save by Weesay LaFrance as he stopped that real sniper, Nab, coming in all alone, and Nab tried to go high to the stick side, and LaFrance beat him.
And the Raiders break back the other way. Here comes Massena, dumping it in the zone.
Don't dump it in with a 2-man advantage. Carry it in.
But Trent Thomas has the puck. The Raiders got away with one that time. In behind the net. Rogers right back, but it's knocked away. Bouncing in the corner. Rogers trying to flip it. He falls down. Grupo ties it up, and the whistle blows. 56 seconds left in the 2-man advantage. It's 3-1 in favor of Williamsville South over the Red Raiders on the Coach's Corner scoreboard.
When you have that 2-man advantage, the opposition, they're giving you the blue line. They're backing off. You want to carry it in and set up with your power play, whatever system you're using. And by dumping it in, you give the opposition a chance to get there and throw it back down the ice.
Off the face-off. Puck sits in the circle. Back to the blue line. Kept in. Nope, Miller can't keep it in. And here comes Bloom breaking in. Gets a shot off, and LaFrance makes the save. As Miller just had a problem handling it at the blue line, but now he's going to come back the other way. Here's Danny Miller. He carries it in. That's what you're supposed to do. He'll drop it back toward the blue line, and Tubolino didn't see it. Back comes Caputi the other way. Caputi busts by the defense. Will he get a shot off? He does. It trickles on. And you got a 2-man advantage. The opposition's getting all the shots.
Yeah, the Raiders not able to get it set up inside that zone, and they haven't been. I don't know what they were last night. I didn't chart those. Prior to last night, they were 1 for 17, and they must have been 0 for 2 or 3 last night. So,
are you allowed to decline the penalty in hockey?
I don't think that's an option, and I know where you're going with that.
Off the face-off, puck controlled by the Raiders. Miller will dump it over on the other side to Pat Horan. Horan starts out, throws it away. Here's Caputi breaking in, hits the goal post, and scores a goal. Caputi gets a goal when the Raiders are 2 men up. That is, I've only seen that once before in my life in hockey.
Cardinal sin. You don't want to come across your slot area. The young Raider defenseman, they had one man forechecking him instead of going up the boards. He telegraphed that he was going to cross. He was to his partner on the other side, which was out about the hash marks. They were both in the middle of the ice, and Caputi read it and stepped in and intercepted the pass. Hit the post on the first shot, but then batted his own rebound.
Here comes Miller for Massena. Takes it wide, drops it back to the point. Raiders control. Here's Cameron's shot. Oh, no, that's not Cameron. That's Jacob Whitcup, and the save is made.
Jake's got to get that shot down. Those things up around the shoulders are no good. That would have been over the net. He's got to get the shot down low, create some traffic. Raiders still at the 4 seconds left in the 2-man advantage.
Off the face-off, back to the point. Raiders control. Whitcup goes to Miller. Miller winds shot right on. The save made. And one man is back. So in behind the net, Miller with it again. He'll flip in the corner for Darling. Darling gets tied up, trying to kick it ahead to Miller. He does. Miller trying to wrap around, short side. It's covered up by the goalie, Stemmerman, and she'll hold on for the face-off with 2.5, and the penalty has elapsed. So, like I said, they should probably decline the penalties.
That Billy fourth goal, the 11:59 mark, Vince Caputi unassisted, down 2 men, and Caputi scoring an unassisted goal.
That was actually the third opportunity the Billy Goats had, and we say LaFrance made 2 good saves before that. Back to the point. Here's a shot through traffic that goes wide. Keeping in his Horan. Horan throws it in the corner. It's intercepted, but stays in the zone. Here's a chance in front, and finally it pokes free in the corner. Picked up there to the blue line, kept in by LaBarge. He dumps it right back in the corner again. Cornwell with it, in behind the net. Cornwell's checked out of the play by Lanning. Puck along the boards, picked up by the Raiders again. Here's Lanning, back to the point. Zepi Ogene's shot is blocked by Murray. Puck in the corner, Ogene throws a check, and it's kicked free, and Murray picks it up. Around the boards it goes. Here comes the Billies, blocked the pass, and it's dumped right back in by Evan LaBarge. In behind the net it goes. Murray back there to pick it up, flips it ahead to the blue line. Rogers poking it, keeps it in the zone. Horan dumps it along the boards. Keeps it in at the point. Again, it goes to Rogers, steps by the check, and then he has it taken away by Stanley back checking. Stanley in the corner. Smith throws a check. Puck underneath him. He tries to get back up. The puck squirting around in the corner. Finally comes back to Smith. Here's Smith looking in front, Trent Thomas, and he just had his stick lifted at the last second. The puck trickles out to center ice. Evan LaBarge, he'll dump it from the red line. Right back in the zone it goes. Here comes Adam Smith cruising in after it. Looking for Thomas, trying to center in front, backhander, save made. Again, back to the point, but this time it's intercepted toward the blue line, and stick is broken. The puck kept in the zone, bouncing in behind the net. Cornwell is there. To the blue line, Trent Thomas. Thomas has it in the circle, flips it ahead to Adam Smith. Smith winds up, sharp angle, goes wide. Puck around the boards, kept in. Here's another shot, goes in behind the net. Bouncing back to the other point, Patrick Horan is there. He'll flip it in the corner, knocked away, gets it back again. He's got it in front to Smith. Smith trying to go to Thomas. He is upended. There's going to be another penalty. And finally, Cornwell touches the puck and holds on for the face-off. I'll tell you what, the Raiders looking good, except when they're on the power play.
I'll tell you, they had the line of Lanning, Ogene, and Darling prior to this, had the Billies just hemmed in their own end. Then out come Smith, Thomas, and was that Bradish out there, and just doing a super job of keeping the Williamsville South Club hand in. And David Rogers had a great opportunity. He found himself all alone in front of Stemmerman with the puck, and he tried to jam a low backhander and couldn't get it by the goaltender.
Raiders win the face-off. Back to Miller, cranks it up, and it's blocked in front by the defense. And clear to the blue line and out to center ice. Right back comes Williamsville, but this time Massena's Miller is back, and he's going to lug it ahead. Here's Miller taking it across. He's got Thomas with him, trying to feed it to Thomas. Thomas has to come back for it. He'll leave it instead. Back to the point it goes. Here's a chance. Ian Maxwell. No, that's Whitcup. His shot goes wide. And I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot, but it's back toward the blue line as the buzzer sounds. And that was a good period for Massena with one exception.
Excellent period for the Raiders.
Rogers out to take the face-off against Dustin Jones. Off the draw. Evan LaBarge with it. He'll backhand it deep inside Billy's territory. Murray is there, being bothered by the Massena forward Petrie. Now Trent Thomas gets it free to Rogers. In front, shot, scores a goal, Danny Miller, and the Raiders get a power play goal to make it 4-2.
I'll tell you, beautiful goal. Danny Miller coming down from the point, but the guy that made the play, I'm sure he'll get an assist. He should. He'll get a coach's assist anyway. Sean Petrie, as he went in hard along the boards and tied up the South defenseman along, and then I think it was Thomas who dug it out and threw it out in front to Danny Miller coming down from the point. He was in tight, in at about 10 feet, and he fired a low shot by Stemmerman.
Off the face-off, Whitcup gets it out to center ice. Moving it ahead. Here's Thomas trying to chase it down, and he'll pick it up in the corner. Stops and lost his edge and falls down. Now the puck bounces back the other way. And here comes Williamsville North. Bloom flips it ahead, trying to get it in the zone. And it trickles back out to center ice. Did we lose it? Okay. I'm not sure what happened here, but uh-oh. Hello. We lost it. Better hang up here.
It's 15. Moyer got the goal. Along Bloom will get an assist. 15 from 10, and there might be another one.
Check 1, 2, test 1, 2. Can you hear me, Coach?
I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Is it ringing?
It's going boom. It's like busy.
Oh, okay, hold on. Here, give me your headset there, Coach. Hey. Okay, are we ready to go? Okay. And welcome back to the Massena Arena. We apologize. I'm not sure what happened. We just kind of lost it. The power failure was what it was. Okay, so we're back on the air. Here's a chance for Darling. A shot right on. Save made by goaltender Stemmerman while we were away, right after Massena scored their second goal. Unfortunately, Williamsville South came and got one to get right back in it.
They answered it, just 39 seconds after the Raiders got their second goal. Beautiful goal. Mike Bloom, great pass, sent in Kyle Moyer right in, and he beat goaltender Wissey LaFrance. A nice goal, makes it 5-2.
Off the face-off, Raiders, though, haven't given up. Here's Danny Miller with a puck. Gets it back again, takes a deep shot in behind the net. Puck cleared around the boards. Miller is there, flipping it ahead. Bounces around. Darling back to the point. Here's the drive on the fly. Doesn't get much on it. Here's a shot following up, and the save is made by Stemmerman. So the Raiders haven't given up, even though they gave up a goal right after their second. They still are pushing forward.
Good save by Stemmerman from a tough angle. Mark Darling ripped the one from just inside the dot. That second Raider goal, it was Danny Miller's 6th of the year. Sean Petrie, and it was David Rogers who made the pass out. Good work, good board work by Petrie. Great pass by Rogers, and an excellent finish by Miller as he jumped down from the point.
Face off right side, inside Williamsville South territory. 5-2 the score on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard. Rogers slides one right off the face-off, and the save is made by Stemmerman. make that 12:38 left in the third period.
Again, every reason. I mean, there's for the Raiders to collapse, but they're not. They come back, make it a 2-goal lead, get all fired up. The opposition comes right back and scores. They could sag, but they're hanging tough.
Off the face-off, puck in the corner. Finally, Bloom picks it up, and he'll just loft it out to center ice. Whitkup's there, turns around, flips it along in front of the boards, and Stanley intercepts there. It bounces into the Massena zone, and in behind the net it goes. They try to center it, but it's knocked away. Good defense played by Massena. Smith gets back checking. Dumped into the corner. All the way back to the blue line, out to center ice, back in again, and offsides will be the call against Williamsville South. Adam Smith having a good game this afternoon.
He is a good game, and the defense that time, little breakdown, has Bloom again, who just set up Moyer for that 5th goal, just sifted his way through about 3 Raiders and almost scored. Good individual effort by Michael Bloom.
Off the face-off, puck comes. Evan Labarge, his trying to clear it, goes right back to him off a body, and Labarge will carry it out this time. Headman's to Eddie Slade, winds from the blue line, it's gloved, and Stemmerman holds on. That was not on net, but she'll hold on for the face-off.
Progress you can see now. In the first couple of games, Eddie Slade probably wouldn't have got that shot off. They're realizing, these youngsters, they got to just react a little quicker.
It'll be Tubolino taking the draw. Face-off inside Williamsville South territory. 5-2 South leads. And now they're going to toss Tubolino out of the face-off circle. Slade will take the draw against Abels. Off the face-off, Abels wins it. Cornwell, behind his own net, flips on the wing, and they break it out. Here comes Abels with it, busting in on Horan. Horan steers him wide. They center in front. It'll bounce all the way back to the blue line. Nab's shot misses. Here comes Tubolino. He shifts across the blue line, fakes a shot, and then flips it in behind the net. Oh, he throws a hard check there. The puck bouncing along the boards, but Caputo will pick it up. Caputo moves it ahead for Williamsville, takes it across. Offsides will be the call. As Nab coming in on the right side, he was going across the blue line. Now he's down. But Caputi made that move right at the blue line and forced him offsides.
Yeah, he looks like he's got his knee, that he might have tweaked his knees, and a lot of discomfort down there holding that left knee. And the referee has called for the coach to come on out. So
he's one of their studs on this. After the offsides, Mark Darling will take the draw for Massena. Off the face-off, a bouncing puck at the blue line. Raiders drop it back. Miller trying to flip it ahead. It's poked out by Whitcup out to center ice. Here comes Lanning with it, or that's Zepi Ogene. His pass intercepted, dumped right back in Massena territory. Side of the net. Bouncing in front, Darling trying to drop it back. Here's a quick shot, and Darling picks up the loose puck, goes to Miller. Miller flips ahead to Lanning. Lanning looks for Zepi Ogene one-on-one with Murray. Here's Ogene, takes it in. Oh, makes a nice move, and if he could manage to pick up the puck, he had him beat. Now the puck along the boards, Darling. Darling looking to move it, stick hands, centers it to Miller, busting in. Here's Miller, gets by the check, centering pass right across the goal mouth. Darling winds up, his shot is blocked, and it's picked up but not out of the zone. Finally, it's Murray, and he'll slide it ahead to Stanley. Stanley comes in on Whitcup. Stanley going wide, stops, gets a shot off, fires it wide. Puck around the boards. Hard check thrown. Darling picking up the loose puck. He'll shovel it around for Lanning. Lanning just picks it up, drops it back, moves it ahead of the blue line. Not out. Stanley keeps it in momentarily, but now Massena will intercept. Here comes Lanning with it. Lanning takes it across and fires it deep. He wants off. That line was tired. Raiders make the change. And back down it goes into the Massena zone. There's a foot race for it. Getting back is Smith. He missed it. Here's the shot, save made. Rebound, shot, another save. Not much on that shot. And we say LaFrance holds on for the faceoff.
That line of Lanning, Ogene, and Darling, they make things happen when they're out there. Again, they're not smooth, but they're aggressive. They're all over the place. They're in your face, and They just
and they give it about 900% for the entire shift.
And they're causing fits to this South club.
Off the face-off, puck sits in the circle, bouncing around, picked up by Bloom, crosses it in front, shot, save made by LaFrance. And Trent Thomas will just backhand it down the ice, and somebody touched it. I think did they wave the icing off? Yeah, they waved the icing off, and the puck in the corner. Thomas after it there, he can't come up with it. Breaking out is Michael Bloom, and it just bounces out to center ice. Stopped there by the Raiders. He'll turn it around again. Rogers over skates, and the puck flipped to the Massena line. Picked up by Evan Labarge. Labarge will dump it deep. In behind the net it goes. Racing in after it, Adam Smith trying to come up with a Cornwell. Flips it by him around the boards to Moyer. Moyer moves to the blue line. Kept in at the point by Patrick Horan on the glove. He tries to flip it ahead, but it bounces out to center ice. Picked up by Labarge. Labarge feeding it ahead. Horan bounces it to the blue line. Across it goes to Bellino. Skates right down the middle. Drop pass. Slade. Oh! Just missed by an inch. Back to Labarge at the point. He tries the center, but it's knocked away. And back the other way comes Williamsville South. Here's the drive, and it's gloved by LaFrance, and he'll hold on for the face-off.
Oh, we say LaFrance. Big-time save. Flashing that left hand as number 10 Bloom down that right side, and a rocket from just about the dot on that far side, and a great save by Weesay. Back the other side, Eddie Slade had the goaltender beat. She never saw the puck, but just wide.
Off the draw, Raiders control, and Petrie gets knocked down twice. Tripped up, no call, and the puck out to center ice. Dump right back in the Massena zone. It comes to Alan Borden from Massena. Borden skates it ahead, trying to flip it out to center ice. It moves to Tubolino. Nice headman Slade. Gets by one check, but the puck slides away and back the other way. It's to the Massena line. Borden's there for the Raiders. Looks up ice. His pass intercepted, and back into the zone they come. Caputi knocked off the puck. Picked up there, side of the net. They got a man right in front. He can't come up with it. That was Reed. Bouncing puck in the circle. Here's a chance in front. Shot up over the net. Bouncing side of the net. In behind. Right across the goal crease. Here's a shot fired wide. Raiders running around in their own end a little bit. Murray takes it out. Fires it. Was that an offsides? Way offsides.
They didn't call it, I don't believe. See where the face-off is. Ooh, what a great opportunity by Anthony Grumpo as he jumped down from the point and was set up by, I believe that was Moyer, and walked right in on goaltender Weesay LaFrance and fired it wide. But good pressure by the Billies.
Face-off will be inside Massena territory. Darling back out to take the draw. Wins the face-off. Here comes Lanning, busting ahead. He gets knocked down, and there's going to be a penalty on Williamsville, and they touch the puck, and the whistle blows. Going to be a tripping call as Darling busted by the defenseman. He was just hauled down from behind.
Raiders will go on the power play. They do have one power play goal here this afternoon, and down 5-2. Let's see if they can tighten it up just a little bit more.
Face-off will be to the right side of goaltender Rachel Stemmerman.
It's so important to win the draw, gain control when you're up in that offensive end, and set up your power play.
It'll be Rogers taking the face-off. Off the draw. Puck goes in the corner, picked up to the blue line, kept in. Miller, can he keep it in? There's a battle right along the boards. Miller with a puck. It's tied up. It slips free. They battle for it. Finally, it's dumped out to center ice. Labarge is there to dump it back in, but Murray intercepts, and he'll loft it down the ice. Labarge tried to knock it down, but he couldn't. He's being bothered by White forechecking, but Labarge has it behind the net. He's going to leave it. Raiders just flip it ahead, trying to go to Trent Thomas, but it's intercepted right at the red line. Thomas comes up with it. He'll dump it deep. Stemmerman leaves it side of the net for Murray. Murray on the boards to the blue line. Does he get it out of the zone? He does. It just trickles out to center ice. They got a man breaking. That's White, and he can't catch up with it. Now he does, but he's taken out of the play, and the puck bounces free back to Barbera. He'll dump it in the corner. Raiders having a little trouble in their own end. And finally, they'll flip it ahead to Miller. Miller will go back to Labarge. He'll go on the other side. Rogers didn't see it. Now it's intercepted. Cornwell has to wait for his wings. He'll just backhand it in the Massena zone. Here comes Danny Miller by one. Here's Miller. Busts in. Here's Miller. Still got the puck. Breaks in front. Shot. Score! Danny Miller through the 5-hole. And the Raiders get their second power play goal. Miller gets his second goal. And it's 5-3.
Great individual effort by Danny Miller. The Raiders were running around and looking disorganized in that power play, but Miller picking up a loose puck in that neutral zone and sifting through. He split the defense, went right in, and got Stemmerman going down and put it right between the 5-hole. Fake going to the forehand, brought it to the backhand, and shoved it between the legs.
Here's Lanning with it. Lanning along the boards to Darling. Lanning and Darling battle for it. Lanning and Darling, and finally it slides 3, and it's dumped into the Massena zone. In the corner, the puck picked up by Whitcup. Whitcup loses, side of the net. Darling is back there, though, and Darling comes up with a puck. He'll flip it ahead to Lanning. Lanning looking for Zepiogene a little bit too far. It's intercepted at the blue line, right back to the Massena zone. In the corner it goes. Horan trying to get it out of the zone. Darling knocks it down. Out to center ice, Zepiogene. Ogene flips it ahead, trying to chase it down, but it's knocked away. Back to Massena territory. Horan will drop it over to Whitcup. Whitcup flips ahead to Lanning. Lanning knocked off the puck. It slides into the Massena zone, and in comes Stanley. Stanley busts inside of the net, slides it wide. Whitcup trying to poke it ahead, goes in behind Bloom. Bloom gets tied up by Darling. Darling comes up with the puck. In behind the net, has it restolen. It bounces free. Whitcup can't hold the man. They move it in front. Go back to the point with it. Grupo drops it. Here's Bloom. Bloom back to the other point. Here's a drive up, way up over the net. It'll come around on the other side. Back toward the blue line, but Whitcup steps in front of the pass. He'll bank it off the boards out to center ice. Raiders move it ahead. That was Lanning just flipping it in the zone. Back comes Moyer. He gets the headman pass. Takes it across. Has it stolen away by Tubolino. Here comes Tubolino, building up the head of steam. Here's Tubolino trying to stick handle through. Gets knocked down. There will be a penalty for hooking. That's the call. And the Raiders will go back on the power play with 5:08 left in the third period, trailing by 2.
Again, good hard work drawing that penalty. A.J. Tubolino through the neutral zone, shifted by the defenseman right at the blue line, and the defenseman elected to turn and hook him, and that's number 20, I do believe, that's getting the penalty. That's Tirana. Tirana is going to get the gate. Second goal of the night and 7th of the year. Captain Danny Miller, unassisted.
Off the face-off, Raiders control it on the power play. Dump it in behind the net, Cornwell. He'll flip it in the corner. Andy Slade is there. Back to Labarge. Winds up through traffic. Save made. Rebound side of the net. Kyle Cameron. Cameron will flip it in behind, but Cornwell is there, and he'll dump it down the ice. All the way down it goes. And we say stops it, and then he'll slide it into the corner along the boards. Caputi is there for Williamsville, and he dumps it in the corner again. After it is Rogers. Rogers trying to go ahead. It slides free. Caputi tying it up, just looking to waste some time. Finally, the Raiders, Rogers picks it up, flips it ahead. Trent Thomas knocked away. Bouncing to the blue line. And right back, here comes Caputi busting in. Takes it wide, tries to go to Abels. Abels taking it in behind the net. Here's Abels with it as they just waste time. Puck along the boards, hard check thrown, and Whitcup comes away with a puck. Whitcup will shovel it over on the other side. Picked up by Petrie. Petrie steps by the check, lost the puck. It's dumped right back in Massena zone. Whitcup after it. He'll flip it ahead. Comes up with it, moves it. And Rogers finally picks up the puck from Massena. Here's Rogers in on the off wing. Offsides will be the call with 10 seconds left on the power play. So the Raiders really can't get started in this power play.
Not at all. It's only 10 seconds left, so a minute 20 seconds. Again, disorganized. He needs someone out there to take charge on that power play to get things organized, get it started out of their own zone. They seem to have problems. Again, that first pass. And
off the face-off, puck bouncing around right at the blue line. It's dumped down the ice. And that's going to take care of the power play. So Williamsville will be back to full strength here. Raiders with a puck in their own end. And here comes Danny Miller with it. Miller busting down the right wing side. He's got a head of steam. Here's Miller. Takes by the check. He's knocked off the puck. Good check thrown there that time by the Williamsville defenseman. That was Cornwell. Cornwell trying to move it ahead. He lost it off the end of his stick. Goes into the corner. Flips it to the blue line. Miller pinches in. He's checked. Puck kept in. Here's Lanning. Lanning gets knocked down. The puck squirts free to Grupo. Grupo bounces it. Miller tries to keep it in the zone. It did trickle out the center ice. Miller right back with it, battling for it. But White comes back to help out. He'll bang it ahead. Trickles to the blue line. Barberi out to center ice. Danny Miller's there. He'll dump it, knock down with a high stick. Grupo will dump it out to the neutral zone. Pat Horan with it. Horan flips it ahead. Lanning dumps in the zone. Raiders offsides. They'll have to get onside. We're down to 2:46. Raiders trail 5-3 in the third period. Puck dumped deep in Massena territory. Patrick Horan after it. Horan gets tied up behind the net, but gets it to Labarge. Labarge steps by the check, moves it on the wing. Here's Labarge. He's got a man breaking, but can't get it to him. White pinching in, keeps it in, flips it side of the net. In behind it goes. That's Bloom with it. Bloom gets knocked down behind the net. Puck around the boards to Petrie. Petrie for Massena. Kicks it behind, has it knocked away. Kept in there by South, but it's batted to the blue line to Slade. Here's Eddie Slade with it. He'll flip it from the red line. Grupo racing in after it. Slade goes after him in the corner. Puck bounced in behind the net and around the boards. About 2 minutes left in the third period. Raiders trail by 2. Here is Petrie digging for it in the corner. He gets tied up. It's slipped around on the other side. Witka pinches in. Can he keep it in? He does momentarily, but now it moves out to center ice. Just trickles across the blue line. Bouncing puck. Picked up by Whitcup. Circles to his own blue line. Whitcup looking ahead. Knocked down by Grupo. Grupo will dump it deep. Will that roll all the way for icing? It will, and the face-off will move back inside Williamsville South territory. 5-3 the Billies lead with 1:40 left, but they know they've been in a hockey game.
And I was wondering if Coach Latham entertained any thoughts of maybe pulling his goaltender, but he's going to go with 5-on-5 here. 1:40, down by 2. Face-off deep in the Billies' end to the right of goaltender Rachel Stemmerman, and we got a timeout. Probably called by Massena.
And Smith on the other wing.
Yes.
And he has pulled the goalie as we got an extra man out there, but the puck is cleared out to center ice. Back after it is Adam Smith. He'll flip it in the zone, but it's intercepted. Clear to the blue line. Out to center ice. Smith gets it ahead. Rogers, can he get it? He keeps it in the zone somehow. Back toward the blue line. It's dumped in behind the net. Tubolino throws a check. Puck comes to Smith. Takes it behind. Centering pass. Ooh, that was close. Bouncing away to the blue line, out to center ice. Miller after it. Miller circles, takes it to the red line, gets by 1. Here's Miller, takes it across, gets by 2. Here's Danny Miller. Miller takes it in behind, circles. Here's Miller looking, bodies flying. Rogers picks up the puck behind the net. Centering pass in front, there's a battle for it. Comes back toward the blue line. Kept in there by Evan Labarge. Labarge will dump it in behind the net. Here's Labarge centering. Oh, and he had Trent Thomas wide open. Didn't get him. Just the pass was too hard, I guess.
Thomas didn't have his stick in the right spot. Ooh.
And the puck finally dumped down the ice, and that'll be an icing call against Williamsville South. Oh, my goodness, 2 excellent opportunities.
Oh, Evan Labarge keeping it in and then working his way down low on that right side. He's on his off wing, and he turned to his forehand, and he had Trent Thomas, wide open on that far side, threw it across the crease, and somehow Trent wasn't able to get the stick on it, but he had 3/4 of an empty net to pop it in.
Face-off back inside Williamsville South territory. Eddie Slade's going to take the face-off for Massena. Darling is out there, off the draw. Puck bouncing in. Labarge trying to keep it in. Now Darling, did he keep it in the zone? He did. Here's Labarge. Labarge to the blue line to Miller. Offside's the call. And
it was close. I can't, from, again, our angle, we're off. The referee was right on the line.
Yeah, we got to give Donnie the benefit of the doubt because he was right on the line.
Yeah, he had a better look than we did, but it had to be awful close. If it was offside, it was a millimeter.
Okay, off the draw, puck back in the zone, dumped up into the boards and up into the bench. And we're down to 29 seconds left in the third period. They could move that back inside the zone, would they not? Just inside.
Coach Green almost getting drilled by that shot.
29 seconds left. Raiders trail by 2.
Get up inside.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. You don't want to worry about.
That's where you want to keep it.
Give up.
Right?
You know, if you can give up another goal, you want to score one here. We were talking about the alignment, but the puck poke checked out to center ice. Evan Labarge picks it up. He'll dump it ahead. Bouncing around, comes right back to him. And they're going to get an open net goal. Here's the shot. Hit the side of the net. Bouncing across the crease, and the Raiders control, trying to move it out of the zone. Here's Darling with it, flipping it ahead, back to the blue line, dumped into the corner, and that's going to take care of the hockey game. But a spirited game for the Massena Red Raiders as they lose it 5-3. But I'll tell you what, Williamsville South knows they were in a hockey game here this afternoon.
They sure do, and just a little set to at the end.